Erling Haaland's rise to the top of world football has been phenomenal. In just 2 seasons at Man City, he has become a household name, looks to be set to win his second Premier League title in back-to-back seasons, as well as a treble, and looks to be going to win another Golden Boot in only his second season in the Premier League. But what if all this was enough for Erling and he just wanted to go home? What if he wanted to return to the club where he started to make his name, Molde? Well, in this video, we're going to find out as Erling Haaland goes home. Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. I'm GNG and here we are for our experiment where Erling Haaland has returned to Norway to play for Molde, the club where he started to make his name back in 2017-18. And a big shout out and thank you to viewer Athletic London who suggested this experiment when we did the Jude Bellingham returning to Birmingham save idea, and we have taken his idea of bringing Haaland back to Norway. He's going to play for Molde again. So here he is, he's going to go back to Man City in 2038, but for now he's back in Norwegian football, and with these attributes he should be a real star with Molde. He's 23 years old here on the 1st of April 2024. He has 33 caps for Norway, so he should grow that. He's on 7,000 a week, which is the highest earner just about at Molde. And yeah, if we take a look at the Molde, they are predicted to finish first now that Haaland has joined them. He is the key player. You can see the captain earns 6,000 per week, Haaland on 7,000 a week, so he is the highest earner, but not a huge increase. We didn't want to bankrupt Molde. They have pretty good reputation, good training facilities, etc. And if we look at that season preview for the Norwegian League, we will see they are overwhelming favourites with Haaland in the Dream 11 to win the title. Molde, I'm going to check just quickly when they won their last title. It was in 2022, so not that long ago, but they have never won any European trophies, so maybe Haaland could bring them one before he leaves to go back to Man City. So first up, we are going to go one season into the future and see how he gets on his return to Norwegian football. So we are back on the 1st of April 2025 and Erling Haaland has had a very successful first season at Molde. 26 appearances, 30 goals, including 13 starts in the Conference League as well, and 14 goals there. 2 starts in the Europa League qualifying, I would say, and 5 goals there already, looking at his career stats. 30 goals scored, as I said, 6 assists, 13 player of the match, an 8.05 rating. We'll take a look at how Molde got on in the league last season. New season is about to kick off in Norway. They actually didn't win the title, that's a bit of a surprise. It's Bodo Glind won the title by 3 points from Molde, so no first title for Erling Haaland on his return to Norway just yet. 19 wins, 7 draws and 4 defeats, with the beaten by Bodo Glind twice the war, so yeah, a bit of a difference there. Goal difference of 51. Yeah, bit of work to do for Molde. If we look at their overview quickly, you'll see Haaland is the key player, of course, and yeah, none of the other players have come up towards his wage just yet. We look at their schedule just to see what they have been doing. So we see he came second in the league. In terms of the Conference League, new format, of course, in the Europa Conference League for this season and currently next season in real life. And Molde came. Where did Molde come in this league table? I'm looking for them, and they're probably right in front of. There they are, 18th. So they went through to the playoff round of the Conference League. So we'll go to stages. We'll go to the playoff round, and Molde got through that. They beat Maribor 4-0, 6-0 in aggregate overall. So they went through to the round of 16, where they were knocked out by Brighton. So a return to England for Haaland, but not a happy one. Brighton winning 6-3 on aggregate. And I'm going to guess, we've seen Europa League scoring in the Europa League. I'm going to guess qualifying for the Europa League is on the way. I'm not sure why he would have scored 2 goals in the Europa League already. I'm just looking to see where is Molde. That's the third qualifying round. League path. Second qualifying round on Molde here. No. Are they in the third qualifying round? League path. They aren't either, are they? No. So I'm not sure where those Europa League goals have come from. Or is this last season? No, it's the current season. First round, we'll just take a look. Are Molde there? Molde. No. So I'm not really sure. Go back to Molde's schedule. We should have checked this before we came back. But we look at their schedule for the current season. And no, I'm not sure those Europa League goals. It must have been Europa League games after he joined last season. Was there qualifying before he joined? I'm looking for Europa League. Yes, Europa League qualifying, where they were knocked out by Hearts. Haaland scored a hat-trick scored 4 goals against Hearts in the first leg in a 5-3-1, but they were beaten 5-2. He scored in the second leg, and that's how they dropped down to the Conference League. So that was it. He scored 5 in qualifying against Hearts, but they didn't make the league phase. They went down to the Conference League and they got to the round of 16. So that's Erling Haaland's first season. As you can see, I'm currently not managing. I'm going to go back to Haaland for a second, just to have a look at his attributes. You can see they're still pretty good for him, well above probably the level in Norway. So we're going to advance forward 4 more seasons. We're going to have Haaland 5 seasons in Norway, and the big things to check out when we come back are: did Molde win the Norwegian title? Have they made it to the Champions League? And have they made it to knockout of the Champions League in the space of the next 4 seasons with Erling Haaland up front? We are back at Molde now, and it is the 31st of December 2029. Erling Haaland is now captain of Molde. He is 29 years old. He is still on the 7,000 a week, so he's really committed to helping up Molde. Let's look at his career so far here at Molde. So he had that first season where he got 30 goals. A little bit of a dip the next season. He played 30 games, 25 goals, 5 assists, 9 player of the match, and a 7.78 rating. Next season he got back up above 30 goals, 31 goals, 6 assists, again 9 player of the match appearances, and a 7.94 rating. Again though, we had a bit of a dip the next season. 29 games played, 23 goals, only 1 assist, but 10 player of the matches. And then in the next season it was 25 starts, 25 goals, so a goal a game that season, 8 assists, his highest assist since he returned to Molde, and 9 player of the matches with a 7.86 rating. And in the season just gone by, his highest total of goals since returning to Norwegian football: 28 starts, 35 goals, 6 assists, 9 player of the match, and an 8.01 rating. So his Molde career has just peaked. I think he's got into his prime. It's peaking. He now stands at 165 games for Molde since he came back, 169 goals, so just over a goal a game. And we go to his milestones, we go to competitions and look at Molde. Since he rejoined, he's won the Norwegian Cup with Molde there in 2027. He won the Euros with Norway in 2028. We'll take a look at that in a moment. He won the Cup again. He won the league in 2029, but he's only won the league once since he come back to Molde. And we look at the league now more closely. So this is Molde. We'll have a look at the season just gone by, just finished up, and we'll see how that went. So we don't see the playoffs, we want to see the league table. So Molde did win the title this season, just finished. So in the 5th season of Haaland back, they won their first title, clear at the top by 5 points from Bodo Glimt. So they will have Champions League football next season. I'm not sure if they'll qualify or they go straight into the league phase. Season before, they were runners up again, 3 points behind Bodo Glimt. Season before that, they actually came 4th. That was a disappointing season for them, well behind the teams ahead of them there in the end. And the season before that, they were 3rd behind Viking and Bodo Glimt. And then we had the first season back of season before that, wasn't it? Yeah, we had another season here where they came 4th behind Valgrada, and Viking and Bodo Glimt. So yeah, only 1 title since Erling Haaland came back, but that is in the last season we've got up to. So that's pretty good for him. Finally got them back to winning the title. They will be in the Champions League. I don't know if that's qualifying. Actually, while we're here, let's take a look at how they've got on in Europe. So we go back to 2024. We've seen they got to the Conference League last 16 that season. Let's see this season how they got on here. We'll go to Conference League, and let's see, do we find Molde here in the playoffs? Where are you, Molde? They're hiding on me. They're not here in the playoffs in this season, so they might have been Europa League. We'll go up to the Europa League and see where Molde in the Europa League. No. Strange. Where are Molde? I'm probably looking right at it. But yeah, so we'll see. Go another season on then. This is the current season. So actually, they might be in. We'll just go back to where we were the first season, and that was the new league phase. Molde came 10th here this season. I think that season they got to the last 16. Just double check. Did they get the last 16 knocked out by Brighton? Or was it the playoff round? Knockout playoff. Molde here, they won against the Portuguese team here in the knockout round. They then went to the round of 16 where they were knocked out by Aston Villa. So they've been knocked out by Brighton and Aston Villa in 2 years in a row in Europe there. Next season after that, go to the league phase again. We see league phase, where did Molde come, or were they in the Europa League this season? So Molde came 12th here in the Conference League. So that was through to the knockout round again, and they went through on aggregate there against the Greek side. So they were through to the last round of 16, and did they get any further this year? Molde, no, knocked out by Aston Villa on this season. So that's 3 times knocked out by English clubs. Haaland on return to England, so not great for him there. The next season they actually qualified in the top 8, so they went straight through to the round of 16, and this time they got through. They bet Brann off Norway, so they beat a Norwegian team in the round of 16, so they got to the quarterfinals where Brighton knocked them out. So they've been knocked out by Brighton twice and Aston Villa twice in the Conference League since Haaland's return. And now the season after that, were they in the Conference League again, Molde, or were they into the Europa League? I think it's Europa League, is it? Yeah, it looks like it's Europa League. So we go up to the Europa League. Yeah, they're in 6th position in the Europa League as it stands. They look like they're going to get through to the round of 16 direct. They're on 12 points. Yeah, they're in a bit of a battle to get through to the round of 16 so far. But yeah, they're in the Europa League this season, just been played. Norwegian season is over. They've won the title, but they have Europa League games to come. So we'll check out Haaland with Norway. We did see he won a Euros with Norway. We go back to the milestones. Norway, European champions. Let's see, they defeated France in the final. So let's just have a look at the stages. And can we go back to 2028? Yeah, here we go. And we'll try and find Norway. Came second in their group behind Italy, 3 points behind Italy, and got through to the second round. Let's see who they defeated. They defeated Serbia in the second round. Can't get the results there. So defeated Serbia in the second round. They got through to the quarterfinals where they defeated Germany in extra time. I'm going to say Haaland scored that goal, even though I can't actually check. But yeah, we'd say Haaland scored that goal. Then they got to the semi-finals, and it was a victory over the Netherlands, 1-0 in that game. And then the final, as we've seen, they defeated France on penalty. So Norway, champions of Europe at the moment, and Haaland having an effect on the international stage. We could probably see this way actually how they got up in the championship. So yeah, actually should have done that from the start. So Haaland didn't score in the group stage. Didn't score at all. Did he play? Bit strange. Don't see Haaland there at all in the... Oh, that's the Nations League. Sorry, I'm looking at the Euros here. Yeah, he didn't score in the Euros at all for Norway as they advanced to the finals. That's a bit of a disappointing thing to see. He did score a friendly in March, but yeah, got to the Euros, didn't score, but Norway are champions of Europe, and they'll be heading into a World Cup with Erling Haaland back in Norway. So what we're going to do now is we're going to go forward 5 more years, and then we will have been over 10 years back at Molde. So we're going to go to when Erling Haaland is 34. He will be 4 years away from coming back to Man City, I think. It would be 2034, yeah, and he's come back in 2038. So yeah, he'd be in his mid-30s. He'd probably just over his prime. Can he get Molde any further in Europe? And how will they do in the Champions League as champions of Norway? We are back on the 31st of December 2034. Erling Haaland has been back at Molde now for around 10 years, and his goal record is very impressive. 288 appearances, 291 goals, so just over a goal a game, I'd say. And look at his stats now for the last couple of seasons. So 2030 he scored 14 in the league. That's a bit of a drop off for him. 2 assists, 3 player of the match. Next season he only played 19 games. We'll have a look to see had he any major injuries, but only played 19 games, scored 19 goals, so 1 assist, 7 player of the match performances. Next season back up to 27 goals, 27 games played, 2 assists and 10 player of the match appearances. Then he's back over the 30 goal mark with 27 appearances, 35 goals scored and only 1 assist, but 13 player of the match performances. And then 30 appearances in the league. In the last season we played 2034, 27 goals, 6 assists, 8 player of the match, a 7.52 rating. So yeah, just to see what happened in 2031. Had he any bad injury? We'll have a look down here. 2031, tight Achilles, twisted ankle. He had a major broken ankle in November of that season. That kept him out for 3 months. So yeah, that's why his appearances were down. Any other major injuries? Yeah, a torn hamstring in 2032. He had a broken toe in 2033. But yeah, no major injuries. Damaged Achilles tendon back in 2030. But yeah, he's had a couple of major injuries. Nothing too bad. He missed a couple of months, and you see his physicals are still pretty decent for a 34-year-old. Mental's pretty good too, and of course those technicals, finishing and composure, 19 and 20, they're very, very impressive. So let's take a look at Molde more closely. He is the captain. Vincent Kompany is now the manager of Molde, former Man City man too, so we have 2 former Man City players involved. How have they got on? We'll take a look at their history here, and they now have 9 titles in Norway. They have won, they've won back to back for the first time since Haaland joined in the last 2 seasons. One in 2021 and 2029 as well. So they have 9 titles. No European success there yet. We'll have a closer look at that in a moment. But let's have a look at them in the league for the previous 5 seasons. So we get the league status up. The previous season just ended there. They won the title by 4 points, comfortably enough in the end. Season before, they won the title by a bigger gap, 9 points from Rosenborg. Season before, they didn't win the title. They missed out to Strømgodset, I think it's Strømgodset, by a point, missing out by a single point. 2031, they won the title very comfortably. That is a 13-point victory for them over Bodø Glimt, and the season before that they actually finished 5th, which is a bit disappointing, down in 5th, well behind Bodø Glimt that season. So we'll take a look at Molde in Europe. So we'll get their European fixtures up, and we'll go just European fixtures, so we get rid of all competitions, and then we'll just bring up the European competitions and see how they've got on. Take that away now, and we'll go back to 2030 or 2029 actually, and how they got on. So here they were in the Champions League for the first time after winning the league, and they got through to the 3rd round of it and were knocked out by Celtic. Haaland scoring in the second leg, but not enough to get them through, so they dropped down to the Europa League phase, where they get out of it. We'll take a look now. This is 2030, so we'll take a look at the league phase in 2030. Europa League, where is Molde? 2030 Molde Europa League, and they are not appearing, are they? That's strange. Was 2030, wasn't it? Maybe season before. Season before. Sorry. They qualified in top. That's the season actually we ended on. The last before we simmed ahead, where they were in the playoffs. They actually got through. So let's take a look how far they got that season. Molde were straight through, to the round of 16, and they got through here. They knocked out Lyon in the round of 16 of the Europa League. So that's a big performance for Molde. Quarterfinals, they were beaten by Nice, so they couldn't quite knock out another French side. Let's go to the next season, and see the league phase. I thought Molde had got through this far, but no. Were they in the Conference League? We dropped down to the Conference League and see if Molde were there. No. So they weren't in the main phase of European competition in this season. Or am I missing things altogether? No, I don't seem to be. Go back up to the Europa League. Go back to 2030. Probably people are screaming saying there's Molde, but I can't see them in the Europa League here. So they didn't make it through to the Europa League, and didn't make it through to the Conference League that season either. Just scroll back and see. Did they? No. So Molde weren't in any league phase in that season. So that's 2030, 31. So we go to 2031, 32. Okay, Molde were not in the Conference League. Were they in the Europa League? They weren't either. Now I'm going to have to go back to Molde here for a second, because I think something not quite right there that I'm not seeing. So we'll go back to Molde. We'll just find them, and then go back to Club Molde. Where are you? Molde. Yeah, Molde. Champions. So this is the season one that they got to Champions League phase here. Now we see. That's why you couldn't find them. They actually got through to the Champions League phase. So season after they lost to Nice in the Europa League quarterfinal, they got to the Champions League phase the following season, and they got through the Champions League. Did they? No, they were knocked out in the league phase. So we go to Champions League phase for 2030, and we see that Molde. Here they are. Here they finished 27th in that league phase of the Champions League. So that's their first real Champions League foray with Haaland back. They did not make it to the knockouts. So we'll go back and look at the next season in Europe. So they got to the Conference League this time in 2031-32 that would be. So let's have a look at the Conference League in 2031-32, and where are Molde here? They finished 3rd in the league phase, so they went straight through to the round of 16. We're making headway now with how Molde done in Europe, and they got through. Midtjylland defeated 7-5 on aggregate, so through to the quarterfinals of this competition, where they were knocked out by Schalke. So quarterfinal of the Conference League there that season. So we'll go back now and just have a look at another season, 2032. They're back in the Champions League. They're back in the league phase in 2032. How did they get on in 2032? Did they get through? No, they finished 32nd this season in the league phase. So 27 in the Champions League is the best European performance so far. A couple of quarterfinals as well in the other competitions, but Champions League wise, 27th is the best they have done. So let's go back once again, go another season on, 2033. They are back in the league phase in 2033, and they got through, yes. Molde through to the playoff round, finishing 17th in the league phase. So let's go to the knockout of they knocked out Arsenal in the Champions League playoff round. Oh, brilliant to see. We can't see the match report there. We might go back to their schedule. Can we see? We'll go on a little bit. Here is Arsenal. Haaland scored twice in that tie, knocks Arsenal out. They go through to play Liverpool. They were knocked out of the Champions League by Liverpool, sadly. Haaland scored 2 in the second leg, but not enough, as they were defeated 3-2. Or they won 3-2 in the second leg, but were beaten 2-0 in the first leg of that tie. So that's the Champions League round of 16 is the best they've got in Europe. But we're back in the league phase the next season, which is the last season we played. And I think this season is still up and running, so we won't know for sure how they're getting on. But at the moment, they are in 19th position in the league phase. How have they get playing? So they bet Dortmund to a goal for Haaland there. They bet Anderlecht a goal for Haaland. Andre Oma Dembele is with them now, the Irish international. Interesting to see. Ajax beat them 3-0. Tottenham beat them 4-1. They bet Monaco 4-3. No goals for Haaland there, and Dinamo Zagreb. So they have a couple of games to come up against Nice and Liverpool in the Champions League. So yes, that's so far. We're seeing some progress in Europe. They've got to round of 16 of the Champions League. Just to see with Haaland, has he done anything with Norway? We'll go to his milestones and we'll go to his competitions. Anything more with Norway? Won the Euros, of course, and nothing more there. So how have Norway got on? We'll just have a look at their schedule quickly. I will see, since they won the Euros, go back to when they won the Euros. That was 2028, wasn't it? Yeah. So in 2029 they were in World Cup qualifying. Did they get to the World Cup? They did. They got to the round of 16 of the World Cup, where Spain defeated them. Then they had to defend their European title, and they only did it by getting to the second round, knocked out by England 2-1 in extra time. So yeah, I don't see Haaland's name in the competitions too much, but yeah, so that's how they've got on with Norway. And yeah, Haaland is doing pretty well at Molde, maybe not doing great. He's Norway captain. Mancini is the manager. He's Norway captain, maybe not doing fantastic internationally, although he is up to 57 goals internationally and 137 caps. He'd probably be retiring soon. So what we're going to do now is we're going to holiday one more time ahead to when he rejoins Man City in 2038 and see how he did in his last few seasons back in Norwegian football at Molde. Well, we are back for one final time. Erling Haaland has returned to Man City at the age of 37. His time at Molde has come to an end, and let's see how he got on in his last few seasons. So in 2034 he had 30 games, 27 goals, 6 and 8 assists, and then he went on to another season of a goal a game season, 28 appearances, 28 goals, 6 assists, or 6 player of the match, no assists that season, a 7.43, and we started to see a bit of a decline now in Erling. 28 appearances the next season, only 18 goals, 2 assists, 2 player of the match, and only a 7.15 rating. Bit of a bounce back the next season, 18 goals again, but 6 assists and 5 player of the match performances, and a 7.39. And his final season, only 7 appearances in the league, 6 goals though, 1 assist, 3 player of the match, and a 7.49. And he did miss some time in that spell with a twisted ankle. He missed 4 weeks. He had another 4 weeks missed with a twisted ankle later on. So he never really had huge injury problems while at Molde. A couple of major injuries there, but by and by he was fully fit for his time at Molde. And let's just see how Molde finished up. They are massively in debt, by the way. That's nothing to do with Haaland. He was on the lowest wage by far towards the end. As you can see here, players up on 31,000, 21,000 per week. He was still on the 7,000, so nothing to do with him. But yeah, we look at their history. Was there any big landmark win for them? They are on 9 titles, so they actually didn't win another title after 2034 with Haaland, so his decline came into effect just as they didn't quite get themselves over the line in Norway. We look at the last few seasons in the league table. So the current season, with Haaland just leaving, they are in second position, 2 points off the top. The season before they finished second, but 8 points behind Rosenborg. Go back another season, they finished down in 6th, so they missed out on European football altogether that season. And in 2035 they finished 3rd, 4 points behind the champions there. So we'll have a look at their European time just to finish up how they got on. We'll go back and we'll get rid of these competitions, or just get the European competitions up, and we'll see how they got on last season in Europe. They were knocked out in the Europa League quarter-finals by Marseille. Erling Haaland scored in the first leg, he scored in the round of 16 as well, and he scored in the knockout playoff round, so he still was scoring in Europe there. Season before, they were knocked out in the Europa League, no they weren't, sorry, they were knocked out in the Champions League knockout playout. We'll see the league phase in a moment, but Real Sociedad bet them. Haaland scored in both legs again, so he scored in the Champions League a couple of seasons before this, and so knocked out in the Champions League knockout playoff. I actually do want to look at that league phase just to see how they got on. So we go back a couple of seasons, we go back to league phase and a couple of seasons before this, and we see where Molde finished in it this season here. I think, yeah, they finished 21st, so they finished 21st and into the playoffs, and as we've seen already, they got through the playoff, did they? No, they got knocked out in the playoff by Real Sociedad. So yeah, not a fantastic performance in Europe there. And we go back now, again, where that Sociedad knocked them out, and yeah, the season before they were knocked out in the playoff round again, this time by Barcelona. No scoring there for Haaland. He did score in the league phase, I can see there, and he scored in a couple other league phase games, did he? Yeah, he did as well. So yeah, so they never really made a huge breakthrough in the Champions League. They didn't win a title in the last few seasons, so yeah, Haaland's decline maybe just starting to kick in. Look at his attributes to finish. Oh, we actually will look at his Norway career, how it finished as well. He ended up on 159 caps, 67 goals. We'll get to that in a moment. His physics are still pretty good. Like, he could do a decent job at City still. He's still got decent acceleration, decent strength. His natural fitness of 19, a huge boost to keep that up. His mentals are still pretty strong. His finishing and his composure are still good. A few areas maybe have gone down. Where we'll go down, it's probably his first touch is, where's that first touch? I've seen it. It's gone now. But yeah, his first touch is 17. That's still pretty high. And dribbling maybe gone down a little, but yeah, it's still, he could still do a job at Man City, I reckon. Look at his milestones. He didn't win another championship after 2034. He won another Norwegian Cup, 2 Norwegian Cups. Awards wise, he was named in Player of the Weeks and that. He was named in the FIFA Pro Team of the Year in 2037, FIFA Pro Player of the Year in 2037 as well. He was the top scorer in Norway in 2037. He was top scorer in Norway any other season. We'll have a look down here. Norwegian won the Europa League Golden Boot in 2037 and was in the Europa League squad of the season. If we look in 2036, he was the top scorer in Norway. In 2035, he was not the top scorer. Was it? He was top scorer in 2035 as well. So yeah, he has Golden Boot in Norway more or less cinched every year he was there, we can see. And yeah, he won the 3rd place in the Champions League Golden Boot in 2034. So yeah, he had a pretty decent career at Molde before going back to Man City. As for Norway, go back a couple of seasons here and see how they got on in the World Cup. So we've seen in 2030 they were knocked out of the World Cup. They then didn't defend their title in the Euros in 2032. So we go on to 2034 World Cup. They got to the second round. Again, we don't see Haaland scoring in big tournaments, which is a bit of a surprise. He's scoring in friendlies, we can see here at the top. But yeah, probably retired after this, I would say. Or can't see him here, can I? No, he was playing in 2035. He scored against Sweden. So when they went to the Euros in 2036, was he with them? He was, because he scored in the group stage against Denmark, but they were knocked out in that group stage. So Haaland went to the 2036 Euros, scored a penalty, but he scored also in a friendly before the tournament. Did he go to Enton? Did he go to the World Cup? He did. He went to the World Cup in 2038 before leaving Molde. Scored in the second round. Scored in the group stage as well. And they actually have a tie coming up against Chile, which he'll be involved in. So yeah, even at the age of 37, he's still playing for Norway, playing in the World Cup. And yeah, that is where we will leave it. So Erling Haaland at Molde, I'd say was probably a success for them. Look, they won a couple of titles. He was definitely an important player. Wrapped up the Golden Boot in Norway many times. So yeah, had a pretty good spell. He ended up with 375 appearances and 361 goals. Add that to the 14 goals he scored before that with Molde, and I suppose he would be their top scorer in history. I'm trying to see here, most goals in a season is Erling Haaland. Yeah, most goals ever. I'm just trying to see where that is. Most goals by a player in a match. most league goals in a season is Erling Haaland at 35, and yeah, he has a lot of records there. Most player of the match awards in a season, 18 there. So yeah, I think he is the record goal scorer. I'm just trying to see where that would be. Most goals, highest league positions, a 10th. I can't quite see it, but yeah, I suspect he is with that sort of goal tally. 58 most goals in a season, 58 in 2029. That's impressive from him. I'm not sure, did he get to 58 goals in a season with Man City in real life yet? I doubt it. Probably not far off it though. But yeah, that is where we will leave it for now with Erling Haaland. Yeah, most league goals by season. It's right at the top. Why couldn't I see it? Most league goals by any player is 375 for Erling Haaland at Molde. So that is the record he holds at Molde. So yeah, a successful return. I'd say he'd still do a bit of a job at City, but we're not going to go any further. And that is this Erling Haaland experiment complete. If you did enjoy this video, please drop a like on it. Always good to see more likes. If you want to leave any feedback in the comments of other players you'd like to see and what clubs you'd like to see them at, don't be afraid to leave that in the comments. And don't forget to hit that subscribe button. It really helps the channel grow. It helps you to catch every video that's posted on the channel. Videos are posted Monday to Friday 6 PM Irish time, and we're currently doing our Breaking Brazil series with Vasco da Gama. So please check that out. There is a playlist on the channel. And until the next video, please take it easy.